You're on the internet all the time and looking
Yeah.
at things. What kind of things grab the attention of someone like you?
I really like building things, so I tend to go to the channels where people either make weapons or they just do machinery. There are people like Colin Fursey who do automotive stuff. They build really, really cool inventions, and they have all sorts of crazy stuff like motorized baby carriages and all sorts of funny stuff.
How did you get interested in inventing and building things?
Well, from a young age, I always looked at other people who were building things, and a lot of the times, if I didn't have some kind of toy or something to play with, I'd make something from my own stuff that I had around me, and then that sort of just evolved into making other things.
What is your idea of happiness?
Probably doing something that I like for the rest of my life and making a lot of money from it.
It's obvious why you would want money, but in more concrete terms, why is making a lot of money also an important element?
Well, I like the freedom that comes with money, so I'll be able to do what I want, and I could build more things and buy more tools and just expand.
Sounds good. What trait do you most admire in other people?
Probably either someone being trustworthy or honest, because if I can rely on someone, that's pretty good, and if I can't, or like if they're not honest or if they'll backstab me, then that's not good.
What are some major life lessons that you've picked up so far? Like, you talked about having friends that are trustworthy, which makes me assume you had times when they weren't, and you learned things from that. So any sort of those kind of big life lessons?
There's this one time in school where a bunch of people were sort of talking smack behind my back, and that showed like it really weeded out who were friends and who weren't friends.
My dad used to have a plaque, and it said, "Prove your friends ere you have need of them."
Yeah.
And it sounds like that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Kind of. What is your number one passion?
Oh, my number one passion has to be building things. Like, I love fishing, but building things always comes before everything, because it's just whatever I do, I can get lost in my work. I don't have to think about outside stuff, and it just calms me down. It's just really nice.
When and where were you happiest? Or just like one time that you can remember that was really happy.
If we go way, way back, I think the summer of junior kindergarten, I had a bunch of friends. I still do now. It's not like I'm lonely, but I had a bunch of friends. Very sunny, beautiful. There's none of this worries going on, no tests, nothing to worry about. And it was sort of just like have fun with your friends and mess around. And it was a lot of fun. And like I had people over all the time, and it was just really great. Yeah.
That sounds pretty good. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
Patience. I don't have very much patience, and that's shown to me it yields pretty bad results in a lot of things, whether it's just with people or doing stuff on my own. But yeah, I definitely give myself some more patience.
What do you consider so far? What do you consider to be your greatest achievement?
Oh.
Well, you can name a couple of achievements. It doesn't have to be the.
Won the science award in grade 5 out of like 700 people, I guess. So that was pretty cool. But that was quite a while ago. Probably one of the biggest accomplishments was getting my mom to allow me to use a forge in my backyard, to allow having that much fire in my hands.
Did you have to slowly wear her down?
Well, it's sort of, I made a soup can forge, which was like a can with concrete on the inside, a little hole with a propane torch, and I sort of just brought it home, and I'm like, yeah, I have a forge now, and she's like, you know what, fine. And then I sort of expanded on that, made a charcoal, and yeah.
All right. This one can have an interesting answer, especially somebody as young as you. How would you like to die?
Well, when I was really little, I wanted to die riding a shark into a volcano strapped on a bunch of quarter sticks of dynamite on me. That's not going to happen.
Oh, well, you never know.
And because I learned when you jump into a volcano, it's not instant death because you're organic matter, so you're burning slowly. So it'd probably be something more peaceful than that.
If you could sit on a bench and chat with someone for a couple of hours, anyone in the world, who would it be?
Dead or alive?
Yep.
Probably Nikola Tesla, because how I remember hearing stories about basically how Thomas Edison, I think that's who he was, basically stopped him from expanding using that knowledge, and he could basically make a world of infinite energy. And I would want to talk to him. I'm Serbian too, and he was Serbian, so it's sort of just like talk to people and learn some stuff about from him. Yeah.
I read a quote one time that somebody said to Albert Einstein, "What's it like being the smartest man in the world?" And he said, "I don't know. You have to ask Nikola Tesla."
Yeah.
Cool thing. Okay, the name of this vlog that we're doing is it's called Amplified Life.
Yeah.
And so I like to ask people, what in your mind is living an amplified life?
Lots of traveling. Like if I were to have maybe like $1 million in my pocket right now and I was able to travel, I'd go everywhere. I'd meet people, learn about different culture, do a bunch of crazy stuff, taste a bunch of new food in different countries, and sort of just try every day to learn something new. I know that sounds really cheesy, but like I still think that would be really cool, and it wouldn't be boring because it'd be really interesting because it's just really cool. And also I've learned, someone's told me before that a lot of smart people or just wise people become wise from years of travel and experience with other people. So yeah.